I grew up on Kodiak Island. The name of this place invokes the spirit of adventure many of us seek, and along with it, the island's largest predator, the Kodiak brown bear. I've hunted my whole life, but I never had a desire to kill a brown bear until recently. I always thought I'd never kill anything I didn't eat. I don't know what changed, but regardless, in the fall of 2022, I found myself walking into ADF&G to get a tag in my pocket. Before I started this adventure, I wanted to gain some more knowledge about this hunt, and one of the bear biologists at Fish and Game was kind enough to sit down with me and answer my questions.
My name's Nate Sabota. I'm the air wildlife biologist for Kodiak Archipelago.
What's the most sustainable bear to take?
Well, so Kodiak bears, as you probably know, are a trophy bear hunt, right? So not a lot of people use them as a food source, so it's primarily trophy hunts, and we manage it that way. So we prefer people to shoot big old boars is kind of what people target, and that's kind of what we
phasing out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what people target. That's what they're looking for. That's kind of what we want. You know, our management objective is to try to have a 60 to 70% male harvest on an annual basis, and we've been pretty consistently doing that. Last year I think we had an 80 or 82% male harvest, which is really good. That's kind of what we're looking for.
Right on. How does, boars, they eat cubs a lot, right? So how does that
Infanticide.
affect the population in an area when people are taking the boars?
So on Kodiak, at least, the we know infanticide takes place, right? Males eating young. Kind of getting your finger on the severity or the frequency of that is pretty difficult, and so we don't really have we know it occurs. We don't really know to what extent or the potential impact on the population. But when you take those males out of the population, then presumably it increases survival of young.
Got you. And so some people, I'm sure you have them coming in here and they're like, we got to get rid of all these bears. There's way too many of them in town. And then you've been saying, that you guys don't really feel the need to do that. What's the reasoning there?
So aside from us just going out and shooting bears as an agency, which is what used to occur on Kodiak, that no longer occurs, rather we try to provide to kind of keep the bears in check, so to speak, on the road system, or keep the population at lower densities in other areas of the island. That's where we have a registration season.
Gotcha.
So as you may know, we have two registration seasons on the road system: April 1st to May 15th, October 25th to November 30th, which starts tomorrow. That is kind of our mechanism to keep bears kind of at bay on the road system. So, and there's no limit other than each hunter can only shoot one bear, but if 1,000 people come into our office and get a registration permit, every one of those 1,000 people is going to get potentially get a permit.
Right.
I mean, there's a cap on that somewhere. I think it's 500 or something.
Oh, okay.
But for all practical purposes, anybody who wants a registration permit can come in and get one.
Bears move around quite a bit, right? All over the island. They're not just staying in one area.
Exactly.
They'll come up to the dump for a little vacation and then go back to the south end.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we've had bears, even I mean, it's kind of interesting because, recently we've been able to radio collar bears with GPS technology, which, it's a relatively new technology within the last couple decades for sure. And so our ability to put these GPS collars on bears and study their hourly movements is something that we really haven't been able to do before. And so we're finding out a lot of good information. We had a bear, for example, that was radio collared on Kodiak Island that had 2 yearlings, and historically we would probably think that bear's going to stay around Kodiak Island, or probably not wander too far, because the farther they go, the more at risk they put their young, right? This bear, and this is just one of multiple examples, but that bear left Kodiak Island, swam across the straits, came all the way into town, came all the way into Bell's Flats, stayed in Bell's Flats for a couple weeks, and then went all the way back out, all the way around, and then took like a month and ended up back on Kodiak Island.
Wow.
And we've had multiple examples of that with females, with cubs and yearlings. So yeah,
That's
we're
pretty
learning a
wild.
lot. It's pretty interesting. Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
And the last question I have is, do you have any advice for a first-time brown bear hunter?
Patience. Patience is good. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the main things, be patient, don't get excited, take your time when you're picking out a bear. As you may know, it's illegal to shoot a sow with cubs.
Right.
Most people try to target males, which is, as I mentioned, that's what we prefer. So it can take hunters, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, sometimes more days of one looking for a bear, but then they should be real cautious and not necessarily take that first bear that you see. Make sure that you have a good understanding on different sizes of bears and different ages and sexes. And it might take you to look at 10, 15, 20 bears before you really get a good understanding, or more, before you get a good understanding on their age, size, males versus females. So particularly for a first-time hunter, the more bears you can look at over time, the better understanding you'll get, and the more comfortable you'll get on picking the right one.
All right, sounds good. I'll be sure to do that.
Right on.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Out here again this morning. I'm just sitting here in this river drainage. I saw tracks this morning that were just from last night. I spent close to 2 weeks in the field that fall, and I never even saw a bear. I quickly realized just how difficult this was going to be. That winter, I spent a lot of time at the range and talking to other bear hunters who'd been doing this a long time. When the snow started to melt and green shoots started to appear on those southern-facing slopes, I gave it another go. We were up on the hill glassing for about an hour this morning or something, and didn't see any activity, but we talked to the rancher, and the bear killed another cow last night. So we're just driving up here to take a look at it and see if there's any sign. Like, it'd be kind of cool to see a track so we could get an idea of how big it is. I think he's still probably in the area if he killed another cow last night, so somebody's got to take care of this bear. Can't be killing any more cows. So this is a little gruesome, but just check out what a bear can do to a cow. Holy shit. All right, we're back out here at the bear grounds. The bear grounds. Exactly, the bear grounds. And there's been some more activity the last few days. These guys have been checking it out, scoping it out. Good morning.
Morning. How's it going?
Pretty good.
What's happening?
Oh, we're just checking
no,
it
I
out.
don't know what he's got going on.
Like that below it, right?
Yeah, the bench thing. Yep. That's where I jumped him from yesterday. Was somewhere.
The other side of that big rock.
Yeah, somewhere.
It's quite the operation, eh, Carl?
It's a convoy going on here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Good morning. It is spring 2023. You wouldn't know it by the fresh snow that's out here today.
Feels like winter.
I'm out here with my dad, and we're looking for some burrs. We've been out here a few times this year already. There's been some bear activity. They're starting to wake up, and definitely spent some time out here putting in some hours. I spent a lot of time this last fall also looking for bears. This is my first, I guess, 2 seasons that I've actually wanted to hunt a bear. It's kind of a new desire in my life, but now I'm obsessed with it, and I've really been putting in a lot of time. Road system hunting is can be difficult, but you know, you can cover a lot of ground in a vehicle, and you just got to get lucky once. So today is a good day to get lucky. There's about an inch of fresh snow out here, so any bears that are moving around are going to be pretty visible, you would think.
Pretty warm yesterday, and then it really dropped for today. So I think we're gonna see something today. I have it.
Yeah, we're gonna check some of the places we know that there's been bears, see if we can find any tracks. I mean, obviously bears can cover a lot of ground really fast, so if we do find tracks, they could have moved a long ways just in this last night, but there's also a good chance that we would be able to track them and maybe find where they bedded down. The bear won this morning. We followed the tracks up here a ways, and they all just got really thick. We thought that he had gone through them and kept going up a ways, so we decided to start cutting through them to find the tracks, and he must have heard us. He got up and started walking away, so we tried the predator call because we had good wind, so we thought maybe there was a chance of him turning back around, but he decided to run up and around this entire mountain behind me. So might drive around to the other side and see if we can find where he bedded down, but there's lots of other bears out here, and there's a beautiful hike, so we're gonna head back down to the truck, have a little snack, and keep going. We saw a handful of bears on the boat hunt, and I realized this was the most effective way to do this hunt. After hunting in the spring, I also found that the long hours of daylight, generally warmer weather, and no distraction of other hunting opportunities to be much more attractive than the fall season. So I took a break from hunting bear fall 2023 and got after it again spring of 2024. After our short commercial herring season, I headed out with my dad and my friend Hayden to search the coastline for an opportunity. We literally just came around the first corner of our hunt. We're glassing for like 2 minutes, and there's a bear right here on the beach. Can't quite tell what the size is yet, but it's a bear. But it's a bear. That's crazy. Close in the distance on this bear. Looks like a decent bear, but we needed to go in, get a closer look just to see exactly what it is. But it's probably about 200 yards away right now. That bear ended up winding us and taking off into the brush, but as the morning went on, we spotted a few more bears on the beach, but none of them were worth taking a closer look at. And then we came around the corner and spotted this nice bear on the beach, and it just looked like a perfect setup, so we went in for a closer look. He's a big bear. This is like a perfect setup.
right, we got a bear down. It's a 40-yard shot. It's just laying right there in front of us on the beach, and just giving him a few minutes just to make sure it's all the way done. That was such an exciting stalk. Holy shit. I can't wait to go check him out. It's gonna be cool. All right, here he is, Kodiak brown bear. It was a super exciting hunt, a quick hunt. It was just our first day out here, and super exciting stalk. It was really awesome. Just saw him here on the beach, a little ways down here, and we were able to get our wind right and just come right up to the beach. Didn't even know we were there and just waited for a nice broadside shot. Made it about 40 yards or something, and piled up right here under this little waterfall. So really exciting hunt, and I'm just really stoked. I don't know what else to say. Thanks to my dad for bringing us out on the boat, and Hayden here for helping back up with the 375. Definitely got the heart rate going, being about like 40 yards away from this animal. So. First brown bear off the outlook.
Coming aboard.
We camped out on the boat that night and woke up to another beautiful day. We spent the day glassing, found a few more bears, and we spotted a pretty nice one close to the beach that was on the move. And since Hayden and my dad both had tags still, we decided to hurry to the beach and see if we could cut it off. So Hayden and I ran off the boat, got up on the hill as fast as we could, and we thought that if we worked around the edge of this hill from the direction that the bear was headed in, we thought that we'd be able to cut it off. And bears do what bears want to do, and you know, if it had gone the way that we thought it would have been a perfect setup, but it just didn't end up working out this time. But that's okay, because Hayden still's got a tag in his pocket, and we can still do some hunting for him next spring. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more Alaskan adventures. All right, till next time. Cheers.